From what I heard, the saddle heist turned into a pretty big topic around town. And we were incorrect on the pricing, I understand that. That's come back to me through other sources. But we took the saddle because we felt like we wanted it. We needed to pay off a debt.
I've been here for going on 37 years. I built and named the Broken Spoke back in 1964. Anyway, the Broken Spoke is a number of things to a number of different people, and of course we have cold beer, we have good whiskey, and we have good-looking girls to dance with, and what more can you ask for? But anyway, that's kind of like when I give my spiel at the Broken Spoke, I'll talk about different things we've done, and it's basically we were voted the best honky-tonk in Texas by Texas Highway magazines, and we kind of holding up that end of the deal, you know, and I've been in business since 1964, and I don't know, at first it was just kind of like a neighborhood bars, you know, just like tell people I kind of live the country cheers, you know, but we have a lot of real good people that come out here, and we're real proud of them that come out, and they help make us famous, and now we get people from all over the world that come here, because if they want to come to real honky-tonk, they got to come underneath the big old oak tree out there, and they walk across the old dirt parking lot and throw the door open on this red rustic old building, and then right off they're not at Carnegie Hall. They're at a real honky-tonk.
My name is Dennis Clark. I'm a detective with the Austin Police Department. Before I even got the case assigned to me, I'd already received an email from the mayor's office and from the chief's office to hurry up and get something done about it.
When the saddle got stolen, a lot of our customers was really up in arms about it. You know, they wanted to kind of hang them out there by the big old oak tree because they kind of felt like they were violated also. And just that, you know, I don't know, I'm proud of what we got here, and I displayed the saddle where people could get a touch of the old West, you know, and the saddles, I can't replace that because my father got it back in the 50s, and some things, you know, money can buy it, some things they can't, you know, but I couldn't replace it. I had it insured, but I told the insurance company I don't want the money, I want the saddle back.
James White was approached by a female that called him on the phone and said that she knew something about it. I coordinated with narcotics and got a body mic. We wired another officer to go with James White into the female's residence to talk to her about what she knew about the saddle.
But anyway, she went ahead and gave up Elmer's name and the Johnny Gaines name, and then she got on the phone and tried to find out where he was at. And that's when she told me that I asked him, I said, well, where do they work at? And she said, well, they don't work, all they do is steal all the time, you know, and all they do is just bring stolen stuff up and down this street. It's a real bad neighborhood. It's got a lot of rundown trailers, and they do a lot of drugs over there, a lot of drug dealing.
They're drug users that support their drug habit by stealing, and that's how all they do is they're concerned only about getting more drugs, and they steal every day to do that.
My name is Johnny Gaines, Butte, Texas. Could I get a light? A man looks at that saddle, you know, goddamn, sends chills down your spine just to see it. Silver all over the thing. It's beautiful. But besides the point, we had a couple problems with a couple debts. And so that was led into the factor of why we stole the saddle in the first place. What really happened is we were having a couple beers over at the Spoke. Hell, we've been all over South Austin at bars, and you know, we're pretty much local Texas boys.
And then somehow or another, this Elmer Sarles had got this woman's car, and he wanted to clear title. He owed his drug dealer $300, so he goes over there, people, and said, hey, look at here what I got, you know, and he unveiled this saddle he had in the back of his red Camaro, and he unveiled this black sheet, and there was a silver saddle. And they said, oh, no, that's too hot, you know, we don't want to fool with that, you know. And so anyway, he said, well, I'll tell you what, give me $300 and the title of this car, and I'll give you the saddle.
And the saddle was something that we chose to do together, and I take full blame for it. And that's how it was. It was something that's larger than life. And goddamn, if that makes any sense to you, sometimes it doesn't even make sense to me, but it made sense then, and now we have, you know, now I guess I'm paying for it, whatever that means.
Elmer backs his car up, tells Johnny, I'm going to go get me a saddle. He breaks out the window, climbs in, gets a saddle, throws it out the window, climbs back out, throws it in the back of the car, and they speed off. Elmer has a lot of criminal history. I previously knew Elmer because his entire family was involved in an organized crime case that I did 6-7 months prior to that, to where they were breaking into cars, probably to the number of 100 or 200 cars. I know status of Elmer. He's out.
There's a bigger meaning to crime than what you do. You know, you gotta live by the moment. You know, you gotta, in order to be free of all these worldly trappings, you gotta experience life on the edge. And I had Johnny convinced that we were gonna be legends, man. That's the greatest thing in the world.
We, after getting Elmer into custody, we knew who Johnny was. We were trying to get Johnny into custody, and we had heard that Johnny had left town and was scared. And we found him hiding in Bastrop at his mama's house and arrested him. He immediately wanted to talk to me about it. In Johnny's mind, he didn't believe that he did anything wrong.
Elmer has his own views, his philosophies, and I think Elmer's a great man. I stand behind him till the day I die. He's my brother. But I do feel like Elmer kind of got away with a lot that he should take on some, you know, part of the burden, if you want it that way. You know, down here in South Austin, South Texas, we take things pretty seriously, but he's still someone that I'd go to the grave with.
Elmer was refusing to tell me where the saddle was because he wanted to use it as a bargaining chip to get out of jail.
That's why the random crime is so beautiful. The most experienced dick in the world will tell you right now, the hardest crime to solve is the random fucking crime, because it makes no sense. They try to come up with these psychological profiles of people and shit. What the fuck? They'll never be able to figure me out. That's why I'm out here.
The saddle was left in the trunk of Elmer's mother's car, and it was just left on the acreage out there to hide it.
I mean, there was buyers lined up at the door. I mean, everybody knew that fucking saddle from 5 counties, you know? And as soon as the fucking stinking papers got a hold of it, I mean, our market dried up like a fucking slug in salt, dude. I mean, you know, there was nobody would fucking touch that thing.
I think James White was a pretty decent man. You know, he, I may look at the pictures on the walls. Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson, those boys alone are legends in their own right. James White was a good man, but we stole the saddle for our own reasons.
And I guess it was probably 10 o'clock at night when I finally got out there and got the trunk open, and we found the saddle in the trunk of Elmer's mother's car.
When I get out, Elmer and I are partners to the end. And that's just about it. That's I'll go straight.
You got 5 minutes, Gage.
get right back into that Camaro and take a ride, pop a cold one, and go to the nearest bar, I'm sure.
Well, you know, I'm sure there's other countries that have their little memorabilia. Maybe not as heavily guarded as that saddle was.